Welcome to Talking Sci-Fi. And your host and starring Sci-Fi Sean and Just Randee.
Welcome back to This is Talking Sci-Fi with this guy right here, Sci-Fi Sean, and my partner,
Just Randee.
How's it going? Hope everyone's doing well and staying safe. This is our first podcast back in the This is Talking Sci-Fi studio, aka my Star Trek room in my house. And how's things been going, Randee?
Pretty good. I'm tired of being cooped up in the house all the time.
I'm liking the new hairdo.
Thank you.
You got kind of like a devil-may-care look.
Oh, Ashley said it's time to get rid of it, so I figured I'd put on camera one more time.
One more time you'll get rid of it?
time.
Because you used to be kind of a shiny ball guy like me a little bit, so, well, kind of short,
Yeah.
Randee and I have been struggling through the zombie apocalypse, adding a splash of riots and looting and complete madness into the world.
A splash?
It's like, on the news it looks like it's all over the place, but really it's only just 1% of the population that's doing this situation, which is fine. We're all about peaceful protest here at Sci-Fi. I'm at Talking Sci-Fi. I get those two mixed up. So we've decided, since we're back inside and we're not really social. There's only like 3 foot between me and Randee, but hey, it is what it is. We don't have our mask on. That mask thing's going to be with us for a while.
I agree.
Yeah, but I got some really cool ones. I got some Star Trek and some space ones. Oh, yeah. Do you have any masks? You brought one, didn't you?
I did. This is like one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah? What is that?
This is...
it's one of them over-the-head ones, isn't it?
It is.
Let's take a
I
look
messed
at it.
my awesome hair up.
It's the Joker. Or a zombie. It's a zombie. Oh, that's pretty cool. I think you should wear that for the show.
All right, let's do it.
All right, there you go. Because I like looking at Randee that way other than the regular way. So we decided, because we do not get political on our show, we're going to talk about the connection between what's going on in our real world today, and to find out, because I've been watching some very interesting Star Trek shows, and a lot of them, well, a few of them have something to do that's connected to what's going on now in our world with rioting and viruses and racism. And is that all right if we talk about that today?
Sure.
Are you good with it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Because I think it's important. Bottom line, I'm going to start this. I know I talk about Star Trek a lot on this program because that's my thing, but we do spread out.
No.
Yes. When Randee and I decided to start doing this podcast, video blog, whatever you want to call it, we said, what are you laughing at? Maybe you should take the mask off so we can see your face, because, that's so creepy.
Oh.
Did I mess up calling it something?
No, you're fine.
Okay, all right. No, that's cool. Your hair still stayed the creepy
You always
way.
jab vlog.
Jab vlog?
Yeah, you always throw that vlog jab in.
Why? Isn't that what it's called? A video blog?
It's just the way you do it, Sean.
Oh, I'm sorry. When we decided to do this, we just wanted to talk about stuff randomly and have it's more of a comedy show than anything else. And you might learn something. You might unlearn something, because we get a lot of the names wrong.
That's right.
Forget the actors and who the hell was this. Just like in the last 2 or 3 episodes, if you'll watch, we were misnaming Star Trek people. And
We were, and we had people commenting the real,
the real name. And that's fine. That's what we want. We want interaction with you
Absolutely.
guys. Sometimes we do it on purpose, but most of the time we just don't know what the hell. But we're having a good time, and we appreciate you guys sticking with it. So let's talk about Star Trek and racism. Ooh, I said the really scary word. But Star Trek came out in the 60s, and there was a lot of the same things going on in the 60s that are going on now.
Yeah.
So the great bird of the galaxy, Gene Roddenberry, creator of Star Trek, I think he got on that a little bit and did it, and now we're seeing a full circle. And one episode I'm going to talk about in particular, I'm going to talk about a original Star Trek episode. We're going to talk about Let That Be Your Last Battlefield, which stars these 2 guys right here, and you can find a picture and flash up.
Absolutely.
The guys that are black on one side and white on the other. They were from a planet called Charon.
Yep.
Okay, and the Enterprise original with Captain James Tiberius Kirk and crew come across this spaceship chasing another spaceship, and so they're having trouble, and the ships are blowing up, so they beam them aboard. So they beam on two of these gentlemen, and of course, they're extreme colored. Okay.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I want to I think they didn't.
Hug me, Randy. I love you. You're not racist.
Oh no! He's black on the left. I can't kiss him.
No! Don't give away my storyline.
Oh.
Here. You're getting out. You're
I'm just saying. He was running. He was running from repression.
Yeah.
And stole a Star Trek shuttle.
Yep.
And they brought the whole tractor beamed it on to the starship.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got a little wrong, but you're right. It was a Federation Starbase shuttlecraft.
Right. There you go.
So you find this guy who is Beale is his name. He is like a cop or in a government, kind of like a FBI or something like that, military. On the planet Charon, we don't know because it's all a different society there. So he was chasing Loki, which is another guy, because he was a criminal. So this whole episode of Star Trek, you don't have any idea. So why are they chasing it? So these guys have like mental abilities. They can control things with their minds.
Right.
They can shoot electricity out, and they can make controls do it. So Beale, the police officer, we'll call him in this situation, gets the Enterprise to start flying towards their home world of Charon.
Using his mind.
Yes, using his mind. So watch the episode. I'm not giving anything away. Spoilers from
It is
1967 are crazy anyway.
Yeah, it's like season 4, episode 13.
So this whole thing, these guys are fighting, and Kirk and crew can't figure out why they're fighting. So Beale sits down with Kirk, and he starts talking about oppression and all this, and this Loki's people have taken over, and they need to be exterminated because they're not like us. And Kirk's like, I don't understand. What do you mean? They're different than you. And all this time you're watching this episode, you don't realize it. And then all of a sudden, boom, they turn the light on. Beale tells Captain Kirk, well, can't you see the difference? And Kirk says, well, you're black on one side and white on the other. And he looks at Kirk with this disgust, and he goes, I'm white on the left side. Loki's people are black on the left side. So they're exact opposite. So right there, I'm like, OMG, I can't believe they just went into that and pointed that out. So these two guys, or these two races on this same planet, one half has black on one side, the other has white on one side, opposite side, and they hate each other for that. And it's so ridiculous. Just like what's going on with racism today. It's ridiculous. I know, different colors and all that, but you got to understand, the end of this episode, they get back to their home world, and it's destroyed. It's burnt down. Everyone has fought, shot weapons, used their powers, and Beale and Loki are the last two.
Right.
One of one color,
race,
and one of the other color. And they're sitting there, they get on the planet, and they start grabbing each other, and there's like electricity shooting all over the place. They're killing themselves. So Kirk and they were just sitting up there like, I can't believe it. They're going to end up destroying their entire society. And I think that's a possibility with us now. In the real world, so much like the original Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry nailed it, because the same thing was going on in the 60s with race. But we see more of it now. And people have told me, like, well, this never happened before. And yes, it has. Martin Luther King came out and tried to help and stop, and he did. He put a lot of peace to it. A lot of other protest activists, if you will. But now that we have 30 million news channels and social media, you see more of it. So it looks like there's a bunch. There is, but there's not. It's just in certain places. And people that are peacefully protesting are great. And I love that, and we support that. But when you get these, and I'll use the term lightly, idiots that are going out looting and hurting people and defacing monuments and trying to erase history, that's when the problem comes in, because there's a peaceful way out of this. And if Lokai and Beale would have realized that, but their hatred for the other race caused them to destroy the whole planet. And we don't want that to happen to Earth because Earth is great. We love it. Can't we all just get along? And it's going to take a long time. We're our generation, our older generation. Right. I talk about me and Lori because we're in our 50s. We're going to have the hardest time with what's going on because we've been stuck in a way of life, you know, and it's hard for us to understand. And then the millennials, which are basically backing a lot of what this is going on, see things a lot different. Now, I'm not preaching to you, and I'm not think we're good. We stay neutral here at Sci-Fi, talking Sci-Fi with Sean and just Randee. So, with that being said, fantastic episode. What did you think of that episode?
Oh, I loved it. It was shocking when I got to the
climax.
The climax.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you're right. The whole planet was destroyed, and they're still going to go on and destroy themselves.
Yes, and they did. And I wish they would have went back and revisited, but there was nothing because they'd already the cities were on fire on every continent and everything. You know, just because they couldn't find an equal way between a peaceful way of getting their racism out. You know,
what I liked about it is that Kurt was able to manipulate him when he was making the spaceship go to Chevron. Mm-hmm. Kurt was able to talk him off the ledge and convince him to let's go help the people of where they were going to dump the chemical.
Yeah, to save the planet.
Save the planet.
Yeah, they ended up letting them do that.
Right.
Before, and then, all right, you've done this, we're going.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So, Lokai, the one that Beale was after that had the black on the left side, he was your typical advocate, what's the word? Not advocate. I can't think of the word. I just said it a few minutes ago. But he was going around to all the crew members and trying to get them sympathetic to his side.
Right, yes.
Beale, the white on the left side, was more of a calm, because he was kind of the military and all that. And, you know, I see the clash, which we're seeing a clash now with the police and people of other colors and all that. It was kind of the same thing. And it was so funny because it started me really thinking that this same but this same situation was going on in the 60s, and here it is 2020, and we're visiting it again.
Yeah.
And it was all, the creepiest thing about tying this together was it was when all the racism and rioting and stuff was going on back in the 60s, they shot the first rocket to the moon. Did you know that was going on almost the exact same time? So what happened about a month ago? We shot astronauts into space from the United States for the first time in years. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, everything's coming full circle. So
wow.
Anyway, you know, I was thinking about this. They're wanting to replace a lot of these statues with like musical artists and, you know, Dolly Parton. They want to put other musical people in place of these Confederate statues and all that, and which is they're trying to. That brings up another point, but I was thinking they should do a Zephyr Cochrane statue and have him like reaching out into space. Remember that in First Contact? They were talking about. Where was I going with that?
Why not some of these characters?
Well, they're not historical characters, and this is what I have a problem with. People are trying to erase history without time traveling. Think about it. That's why they're tearing these statues down, taking pictures down, destroying the Lincoln Monument. They're talking about blowing up Mount Rushmore, I've heard, you know, which is going to be almost impossible to do. But you can't erase history unless you have a time machine, people, because history is always going to be there unless you go back and stop it and kill Abraham Lincoln before he's born, which, again, blows my mind why they want to deface Abraham Lincoln, because he was a big advocate of the race situation. You know? What is your feelings? Because you got kind of a weird look on your face.
No, it's just you blew my mind when you said they want to blow up Mount Rushmore.
You ain't heard that?
No, Jesus. So.
I have written, and I'm in the middle of it, and I need to finish it, is I'm writing a Star Trek novel. I have been for years. It's called Rushmore. Right. And it ties Mount Rushmore into the Star Trek universe. So
wow.
You'll have to read it. Please buy it. It'll be available on Amazon probably after we're all dead. So there you go. Anyway, another episode of Star Trek. Do you have anything else about let that be your last battlefield by any chance?
No.